What is up, my dear friends, and welcome back to another episode here on the Happy Heart Academy podcast. I am your host and relationship coach, Tyler Joe Stratton, and today we are going to be discussing how you can begin to feel better if you're feeling down, or another way to put this is how can you begin to boost your mood if you're feeling down. Well, I have the answer for you. It's going to be practical, and it's going to be things that you actually have to implement into your own life in order for you to reap the results. Now, that's ultimately meaning that this is not just going to be information that you're going to receive, because knowing and doing are two different things. And I need you to actually implement these things in your life in order to see the significant improvement that I believe that you deserve. But once again, it takes two to tango, and that means that you're going to have to show up for yourself this week in regards to boosting your mood so that you can feel better, more alive, more happier, more connected to yourself. But before we dive into that, I want to offer you an opportunity to join a free community. And it's a free community found on Facebook. And it's for those of you that are currently listening to the podcast, those long-term listeners that haven't found a place to maybe connect to the community that has erupted here on the Happy Heart Academy podcast because of your kindness of offering different reviews, sharing it out to your friends and family, and also just once again showing up every single day or every single week. And I appreciate and love you guys for being here because it gives me a reason to continue to show up. But there's something that I'm missing in my life that I'm going to begin to implement into my business, which is building out an online community for all of us to connect in. So right now it's going to be on Facebook, and it's going to be just a free community. And I'll leave the link in the show notes below. But I want to offer this community because if you have questions for me, you might not have any idea on how to connect with me. You're like, I love what you have to say, but can you explain this, or can you give me an answer to that? And I'm hoping that when you start to ask your questions in the Facebook group community, that's free, private, and exclusive to those of you that are listening to the podcast, I want to make sure that I'm taking the time out of my day to answer those questions, especially those most common questions, like how do I move on? How do I let go of hurt? How do I pick myself up? How do I build a better relationship with myself? How do I re-engage in love once I'm feeling ready to? All of these questions that you may have that are on your heart and mind, I want to give you a space and place to connect to me to, which can be found exclusively on Facebook. Like I said, I will leave the link in the show notes below. And if you feel like that's something that you're called to tune into and be a part of, that would be a fantastic, because I'm missing the connecting to you. Part of the business that I run online is sometimes challenging when I don't feel like I'm super always connected to the people that are listening. Maybe you don't want to connect with me besides listening to me or watching me on YouTube. However, I want to connect with you. I want to hear from you. I want to be a part of your life. I want to help you to get through and move through so that you can overcome the obstacles stopping you from achieving more levels of happiness and success in your own life. Whatever that looks like, each heart and mind and dream is a little bit different, but ultimately I want to help you to be able to overcome the obstacles stopping you from reaching your next level of happiness in your life and relationships. Now, if you want to be a part of that, once again, the link will be in the show notes, and I hope to find you on the inside. And, stop in, say hello. If one of these podcasts within the last month have helped you, supported you, encouraged you, or uplifted you, I would love for you to share it out on your Instagram page or your Facebook page and tag me at Tyler Joe Stratton so that I can share it out with other people in the community, just to know that I know you're listening. I know that there's been a beautiful audience in the past 12 months, over 30,000 monthly active listeners, and it's beautiful that you're here, and I'm grateful that you are here, but I want to make sure that I give you the proper space and community that you need from me or for me or because of me. I want to offer you a community just so that you feel like you have a place that you can call home. So once again, that link will be in the show notes. Now on to today's episode on how to begin to pick yourself up when you're feeling down with this 1-hour practice called the Mood Booster Practice. My dear friends, today we are going to be diving into how can you pick yourself up after you're feeling down. Like, there's moments in life where we experience highs of highs and lows of lows, but how do we pick ourselves up when we're feeling stuck in a thought, stuck in a feeling, stuck in a time and place? Like something bad has happened to you. Now you're feeling down and you can't seem to pick yourself up. Well, a part of this journey is about taking time for yourself. Like, there's in this world that's ever changing, constantly moving, it's always seems to be so busy and noisy. It's a no wonder why we feel so anxious, so fearful, so disconnected from ourselves is because we know how to keep ourselves distracted. We sit on our phones and do the endless social media scroll. We watch too much TV. We play too many video games. We indulge in too many unhealthy activities. And this ultimately stops us from being able to really, truly connect to ourselves. And I want to change that for you. I want to help you to understand what are the things that you should connect back to when you're feeling down so you can ultimately pick yourself up. Now, the challenge to this is you have to do the work, right? Like I can tell you this, but knowing something and doing that something is what's going to change you for the better. Knowing it is not going to change anything. Doing it is what's going to change everything. The moment that I got myself out of depression, the moment that I picked myself up was in the moments that I started to focus on growing myself and doubling down on spending time with me. Like I just got done talking to a buddy of mine this past week who was going through a heck of a week. He was definitely struggling. A lot of things were coming up. He had, his wife was in not such a healthy position, and which made him like scared. His car broke down. Things were just adding up. One of those weeks where you're just like, man, everything's just happening at once. Well, that was what he was going through, and ultimately, I kind of helped him understand like when we go through that, we have to make sure that we're doubling down on taking care of ourselves and giving ourselves the time and space needed in order to just focus in on ourselves so that we don't continue experiencing this lower quality, lower vibratory quality of life where everything's negative. We get road rage easily. We are short with people. We are easily irritable and irritated. We anger easily. We are not our best selves. And in this day and age, we're being called to improve the relationship with ourselves so that we can show up as our best selves in a world that seems to be going to crap. However, the world that you see is because you're looking for that world, okay? Or you feel like that anyway. So you see what you feel and you feel what you see. So if you want to change how you're feeling, we got to change up some things in your life. And I'm hoping that these practical habits can help you. And I'm going to give you a time frame on how long you should do each one of these within the 60 minutes that I'm allowing you to give back to yourself. Because if you're not giving yourself 60 minutes out of the day when you feel completely overwhelmed, anxious, and just like frustrated, sad, alone, disconnected, troubled, whatever it is that you're experiencing. I myself have went through that, but here's how I've got myself out of it. Listen, I didn't just read a book and think that, this just because I know it, my life's going to change. No, I have to implement this stuff, right? I can't just wait for someone else to take care of me. I had to start showing up for me. I had to start saying like, no, my happiness is my responsibility. My suffering is because I'm choosing to suffer. I've chosen to think the thoughts that I'm thinking and allow myself to suffer. I oftentimes found myself suffering to the point where I had to start asking myself, why am I choosing to suffer? That's a good question to ask yourself. Why are you choosing to suffer? When you have the choice to choose, why choose suffering over anything else? Is it because you feel like you love them so much, so the amount of love that you've lost is the amount of suffering you're going to allow yourself to deal with? Are you allowing yourself to suffer because that's always what's been truly there? And you've never really felt happy. You've always been running away from just misery. Maybe you're someone who's just been struggling to feel happy throughout your entire life, and you don't know what you can do to, feel better. So your main mission in life is to just try to numb yourself enough or distract yourself enough to not feel as miserable. I know this because I was that kid who would do everything in his power to run away from the reality that he was living in. Distract himself in sports, distract himself in alcohol, distract himself in, video games, distract himself in porn, distract himself in, women, distract himself in the college lifestyle, distract himself in with building a business, just distracting himself so that I didn't have to feel upset, depressed, hopeless, anxious, lost, and scared. So if you're feeling that way, if you feel like you're always on the run, running away from yourself just so that you can handle yourself, this is what I recommend you try. The first thing that I need you to focus in the first 3 minutes, like let's just say you're giving yourself 60 minutes. I need you to give yourself 60 minutes. And if 60 minutes is too long, well, then once again, divide these couple of things by 30 minutes or divide them by 15 minutes. But This is ultimately what I recommend. You should at least spend 1 hour if you're really feeling exhausted, like you're not feeling any better. Number one is you should really just give yourself 3 minutes to put your device on do not disturb. That means take your phone out, the thing that's always attached to you, and just put it on airplane mode or do not disturb. Okay. Just give yourself some time and space to just disconnect from your cell phone for just 3 minutes. And then once again, in those 3 minutes, just give yourself time to breathe and decompress, to de-stress, to just breathe. Just give yourself just a moment to disconnect. Okay. After the 3 minutes up, 5 minutes comes around, you need to think about, how can I serve today? What can I do to do a good deed? Maybe a good deed, maybe you're in your car, maybe you are at your office, maybe you're at home, but think about, can you send someone a text message just being like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hey, I'm super grateful that I have you in my life. And that's a good deed. Maybe you can buy someone, lunch today. Maybe you could, sit with someone and just hold a conversation with them besides, sitting at your desk eating at work. Maybe you could compliment someone just in that. And, the next 5 minutes, just figure out what you can do to do that good deed. When you give yourself away, when you start to focus on others and how you can help other people feel better, your moments of feeling down will go away. You'll start to feel better about yourself when you start to help other people to feel better. And that's part of the reason why I started this podcast, is because my mission is to help you to feel better, to overcome, life's greatest obstacles that are stopping you from achieving greater levels of happiness and success in your life and relationships. And in order to do that, I need to do a good deed by serving you here on the podcast, on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram pages, wherever, right? I've got to make sure that I'm showing up and offering you a piece of knowledge that can hopefully transform and change your life if you allow it to. And so what is one good deed that you can do today for your kids, for your boss, for your coworker, for yourself? How can you give a good deed away? Ask yourself, how can I serve today? Take the focus off of you, because you'll always suffer more when the focus continues to stay on you. So stop allowing it to stay on you and continue to focus forward. So once you disconnect your phone, you're going to focus on, how can I serve? The third big idea here is go outside, spend time outside for 15 minutes. I need you to just go outside, breathe in some good, healthy air, go walk in a park, go stretch, go open up your arms and hands to the sky, and just give yourself some moments to absorb the sun, absorb the weather, absorb the moment in nature. Or, go outside on a walk if you're living in a city, just go outside. Staying inside is not going to achieve you more levels of happiness. You've got to get yourself and your body moving. And that's what this is asking you to do. I'm asking you to get outside and just spend outside absorbing Mother Nature. She's very healing. She's a very beautiful, gentle, kind soul, ready to equip you with the proper energy needed in order for you to begin to feel better. Maybe part of the reason why you feel so miserable and depressed is really because you haven't spent enough time outside. Start to, if you have the ability, start to do some grounding work. Start to take off your shoes, and ground yourself to the earth. Maybe you want to just go for a walk out in the woods and connect to nature. Maybe it's going to your favorite, place with running water, like a little creek or a river or a waterfall, wherever you're at in the world. Ultimately, take some time to spend your day outside. Fortunately, I have a puppy. I have a dog with my wife, and we have the opportunity to take Luna outside. And that gives me that moment of just like being able to just spend some time breathing in some good air and giving myself minutes to just disconnect from all of the world and reconnect back to the present moment found within your daily walk. Spend 15 minutes outside. Then after that, really just give yourself 10 minutes to meditate. Meditate. What is meditation? Meditation is just being conscious and giving yourself a moment to break away from all of the noise and chaos in your life. So that means you have to disconnect from yourself and reconnect back to yourself. Disconnect from the world and reconnect back to yourself is what I meant to say. And meditation is just give yourself, if you have a moment today, like give yourself a moment to sit on a chair and close your eyes and just allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to relax your mind, your body, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead, your lips. Allow yourself to take, in those 10 minutes, 20 deep breaths. Allow yourself to recharge, meditate. Because when you meditate, you're going to be put in this place of peace that's allowing you to be able to clear your mind and racing thoughts. When I meditate, sometimes when my mind is going 120 mph an hour, I oftentimes use the release technique meditation, which is a meditation I like to practice when I feel like my mind is going 100 mph an hour. Maybe I'm facing a little bit of stress or anxiety or worry or panic or frustration, or I can't seem to ground myself to think clearly. I allow myself to breathe in, and every time I breathe out, I say the word release. So I breathe in, and then when I breathe out, I say release. And whatever it is that I'm releasing, and I'm not really focused on anything besides releasing all of the tension, all of the stress, all of the thoughts and worries that are trapped within my mind and body away from me. Just allow myself to breathe and then release. It's a beautiful process, but give yourself 10 minutes to meditate. And then once you give yourself and allow yourself to, get comfortable in the peaceful moment, I need you to spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, finding a couple things, maybe 5 things, 10 things that you're grateful for. But in this gratitude practice, I need you to really feel it before you move on to the next one. So you not only just want to list out, oh, well, I'm grateful for my legs, I'm grateful for my mind, I'm grateful for my eyes, I'm grateful for my body, I'm grateful for my, job, I'm grateful for my wife, I'm grateful for my past relationships. It doesn't, you're not really connecting with it. You're saying it, but you're not connecting to it. So giving yourself some time and the space needed in order to really feel it and allow it to marinate into your heart and mind. So don't move on to the next thing you're grateful for until you actually feel the first thing that you say that you're grateful for. So when I think about how I'm so happy and grateful for my wife, I just think about all of our past moments. I think about all of our present moments. I think about, what a gift it is to have her in my life. I think about so many beautiful things. And once I start feeling it and the emotion starts to charge within my heart and my mind, I can move on to the next thing and just do that for 5 minutes. And then 10 minutes of just moving your body, intentionally moving your body, practicing Tai Chi, which is a beautiful method of just energizing the meridians throughout your body. Tai Chi is a method where you basically cup your hand and slap the meridians throughout your body, specific parts of your body, to aliven them and waking them. Move your body, maybe do some push-ups, maybe do some sit-ups, maybe do some, just like standing lunges, maybe do some jumping jacks. Just move your body, like get up, get out of your seat, move around, walk around, drink some water, move your body, right? That's for 10 minutes. Just get your body moving. Control your body. And the last thing I really want you to think about is maybe 12 minutes of playing your favorite tunes and just dancing around. At least just playing your favorite tunes, but like dance around with it, move with it, feel it, understand it, be who you are meant to be. Even masculine men, right? Like headbang if you need to, or like, just getting a nice little flow of just energy and allowing this energy to be released throughout your body and giving yourself that 12 minutes to really play your favorite tunes. So when you're feeling down, these are the things that I recommend you try to do and implement in your own life. Number one is put your phone down for 3 minutes. And then 5 minutes, just do a good deed. Think about, how can I be of service to someone? This gives yourself the time that you need in order to think about someone else besides yourself, because suffering is when you focus too much on yourself. 15 minutes, spend it outside. Come on now, right? 10 minutes, just meditate, deep breaths, release, release, release. 5 minutes of just writing down or speaking out loud the things that you're grateful for. And remember, the key here is to really allow yourself to marinate in the things that you're grateful for, and then the last, couple minutes here, the last like 22 minutes, you're going to spend moving your body and then playing your favorite tunes, right? Just dancing and playing your favorite tunes. Now you can wrap this all up into, one big kind of setup. You could, put your phone to a side for, 30 minutes, and then go outside and just while you're outside walking, because now that's, movement of the body. What you could do is think about, how can I show up and serve someone today on your walk? And while you're walking is a form of meditation. So focus on 10 or 15 deep inhales and exhales and just release it, right? And then speak out loud of the things while you're on your walk, on the things you're grateful for. And while you're moving your body, you can listen to music. All of this can just take place all together in one massive habit of just putting yourself outside, right? So like, don't overcomplicate this. Don't say that you don't have an hour. If you have 30 minutes, go for a walk outside for 30 minutes. If you have 20 minutes, go for a walk outside for 20 minutes. But in that 20 minutes, you're going to disconnect from your phone. You're going to ask, how can I be of service today? You're going to meditate and do some deep breath work. You're going to then speak out what you're grateful for. And then you're going to play some music to kind of cheer you up. These are some things that I would implement into my life in the moments that I'm feeling down. I do these every single time. Anytime that somebody that I'm with is feeling down, I try to get them activated out of their mind and into their body to step into the present moment. This is how you can begin to boost your mood within 1 hour or less. So if you're feeling down, if you know someone who's feeling down, who's struggling, in a difficult time, be sure to share this out with them. Share this to them. Let them know that you're thinking of them. Allow them to be a part of your, how can I be of service today? And just be like, I want to just share this out with you today because I feel like this could really help you in your time of struggle or your time of need, or you're just or in a future moment that is to come. This is always going to be powerful and insightful information for us to implement. So once again, think about it. If you're going to, when you feel down, if you're going to just stay inside, lay in bed, watch Netflix and scroll on social media, don't expect to feel better. It's not what's going to help you. Go take a nap. It's not going to help you. Sometimes maybe a nap will, but ultimately understand this truth that you have to put in the work in order for you to feel better. And the only way that you're going to feel better is if you will give yourself the time needed in order to feel better. So if you are struggling to feel better because you're always feeling down, I ask you, are you doubling down and taking care of yourself? Are you giving yourself 30 minutes to an hour each and every day to help yourself to feel better? Ask yourself, how can I begin to feel better today? And implement some of these, practices in your own life. And I promise you that you're going to start to feel better. Listen, my dear friend, if this podcast episode has helped you, be sure to share it out to 1, 2, 3 of your friends and leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the podcast at. That is what's going to significantly help me to be able to improve the quality and quantity of this podcast, reaching more lives, changing more hearts, and helping more people to live from their heart rather than their hurt. And ultimately, last but not least, my dear friend, be sure to check out the free and exclusive private Facebook group where you can connect with me, ask me anything, and where I will then answer those questions on this podcast and help guide you through your own situation.